everybody, my name is Diana. Today we will talk a story about Wesfarmers. Wesfarmers origins in 1940 and has grown into one of the largest listed companies in Australia. It is the largest private sector employer with around 223,000 employees. According to 2017 annual report, the company's revenue has been reached 6.8 billion in Australian dollars, and the after-tax net profit is 2.8 million. It's overtaking Woolworths and BHP Billiton. Here is major business operation segments. The cost, which is the national supermarket, liquid, fuel, and convenience retailer in Australia. The department store includes the Kmart and the Target, which operates independently, and the department stores. And Wesfarmers also have industrial business, contains chemicals, energy, and fertilizer. The office works, selling the office supplies for home, business, and education. The home improvement is made up of Barney's Warehouse, a specialized retailer of home, garden, and building products, which has 210 Barney's large store, 67 Barney's small format store, and 36 Barney's trade centres in Australia and New Zealand. It serves both the home improvement market and the building industry. Here is the divisional earnings summary from Wesfarmers 2018 report. We can find that Barney's is the most profitable division with earnings before interest and tax is 1.5 billion. Barney's Australia and New Zealand has a sustainable strong sales performance. The total store sales growth is 8.9% compared to 2017. Sales growth in all trading regions and across all product categories. Wesfarmers bought the United Kingdom-based hardware chain Homebase in February 2016. The company planned to rebrand the 265 chain stores in UK and 15 in Ireland with Barney's name within 5 years. However, after a difficult period and mounting losses, Wesfarmers sold the UK and Ireland Barney's operation. For now, the Wesfarmers revenue report for 2018 excludes $931 million of impairment, write-off, and store closure for Barney's UK and Ireland, and $375 million loss on disposal of Barney's United Kingdom and Ireland.
As we said before, the performance and business structure of Barney's in Australia was mature and successful. Internationalization was imperative to extend Barney's product life cycle, to access cheaper and better raw sources, to access global market with better techniques and more customer as well. So Barney's decided to enter in the UK market. Let's go to the UK!
So, how Barney's got success in the Australian market? Barney's core comparative advantage are lowest price, widest range of products, and the best service in Australia. Barney's have massive customer service focused on these competencies. Barney's open 7 days a week from 6:30 a.m. to 9 p.m. They also offer one of the biggest product range available for DIY projects, builders, renovations, and so on. Their store facilities including bathroom and kitchen, flooring, garden, the electrical, outdoor living, paint, storage and organization, tools and hardware, and window furnishing. Along with all this, they offer many free additional service for customers, such as paint color consultants, free workshop offering helpful advice, free workshop for children over the age of 5, and also amusement park for kids. Barney's applied all their 3 competitive advantage into their marketing mix. The first one is lowest price, and then the best quality and the widest range of products, the lowest price promotion, and the widest range of stores in Australia.
It is very important to analyze external environment of the market. Let's see the overall condition of external environment in UK. Firstly, based on the census report, the population of the United Kingdom in 2016 was 65.64 million. An Australian has 24.13 million, which means the overall consuming market size was bigger in the United Kingdom rather than in Australia. It's expected to have more customer and labours. In the overall culture and British society, even most of the homes in UK are more than 50 years old. British people still love their homes and obsessed with home improvement. They tend to moving less often and keep upgrading their home. It also encourages Barney's to entering the market by the bargaining power of buyers.
According to the report of weekly household expenditure of Australian and UK by the government statistic in 2015, the weekly spend on housing expenditure in UK was £35.6, which equal to 74.3 Australian dollar, and the data of Australian was 58 Australian dollars. That UK residents were more willing to spend on home improvement than Australian. In economic aspect, the GDP of United Kingdom in 2016 was worth 2.62 trillion US dollars. However, Australian only had 1.2 trillion US dollars. Also, the Customer Price Index, which measures the price level of the market of consumer goods and reflecting the total consumer spending in UK, were increasing to 1.6%, and Australian data fall to 0.8%. The overall competition in the UK home improvement market could be explained by the five-force model. Firstly, the UK is the easiest major economy in Europe where to do business. It has fewest barrier for companies. Just 48 hours was required to register a company, and the time only takes 13 days. By the way, tax on patents from April 2013 was only 10%. The corporation tax was only 20%, which is the lowest in the G7. Second, how to satisfying the buyer in UK was a problem. Because the overall DIY market is under pressure, Bunnings has over 20 competitors serving similar products and services. However, they have fewer loyal customers in UK. It is hard to differentiate their products and services or even their prices. And rebranding was too difficult based on their lower recognition among UK customers, and it will cost them a lot of money. Bunnings invites suppliers to get connected with them to build collaborate relationship, but they may share the supplier with a competitor, so it's still a problem to differentiation. Threat of substitute products and services is mainly comes from those do-it-for-me products and services, as there are huge differences on the customer behavior between UK and Australia. UK customers are willing to buy a do-it-for-me products rather than DIY products. Bunnings buying the number 2 company in the industry called Homebase to operate their home improvement and hardware business in the UK. They do have some customer loyalty of Homebase, but it's still difficult for them to go to the UK market.
Its strategic group were Bunnings and its main competitor B&Q and Wickes, who are offering similar products to the same customers. Competition is fierce within the UK home improvement market. In Australia, Bunnings adopted the lowest price, widest range of products, and best service as their marketing positioning strategy, whereas in the UK market, Bunnings copy and paste this positioning strategy over to the UK market. In the UK home improvement market, Homebase used to have the highest product price. After Bunnings had taken over Homebase, it set its price and strategies similar or close to its competitors.
For internationalization, Bunnings adopted the transnational strategy for their internationalization. The reason is that Bunnings need to deliver their main competencies to the UK market and also improve their performance flexibly with British local culture and conditions. Furthermore, Bunnings used the acquisition entry model by buying the British-located company called Homebase 100% for a quicker access to the UK domestic market. However, even both transnational strategy and acquisition model are good for quickly and successfully access to the market in another country. But it is risky if the management fails to achieve the organizational basic objectives.
British market is actually a challenge for Bunnings. Unfortunately, they totally failed in the UK. Now let's have a look at how Bunnings did wrong and lead them to current worst position. Bunnings failed to do the research on the British customer that they actually prefer do-it-for-me than do-it-yourself. It's a tough market, as DIY was an outdated style in past 10 to 15 years. Bunnings even didn't provide online shopping services. Secondly, Bunnings thought that they had already succeeded in Australia and they can copy and paste their strategy directly to UK. They failed to consider UK local conditions. For example, Australians have their own private backyard than British. It is difficult to create demand when weather and space work against them. The number 1 company in the industry is called B&Q, who hold 41% of the UK market, but Homebase only occupied 14%. This was a big challenge for Bunnings to get over with their copied Australian strategies. Bunnings desired to succeed in UK, then they moving themselves very close to the number 1 B&Q, which effectively lost a lot of differentiations on Bunnings' products and services. The acquisition of Homebase has been an unbelievable disaster for West farmers. They failed after a series of terrible management decisions, clumsy execution, and misguided perception of the UK market. Bunnings failed to achieve their three main competitive objectives. Most converted home-based stores are smaller than Australian Bunnings and 60% smaller than B&Q, so widest range of products was impossible, and their retail service in UK was bad as their cut down of staff.
Retail industry as a kind of service industry, satisfying customers' needs should be placed on the top priority. Customer is a god should be always keep in mind. They are not only failed on satisfying their customers in British market, but also neglect the strengths of their competitors.
So basically, if Bunnings still have the interest in remaining the United Kingdom's home improvement market or expanding in other countries, it is to recommended that Bunnings should do more research on consumer buying decision and behavior, analyzes their intrinsic and extrinsic needs and wants to improve consumer satisfaction instead of copy and paste formatting strategy, which will limit their opportunities in UK. A changing lifestyle of consumers is a sign that signal Bunnings could gradually move from completely do-it-yourself to combine do-it-for-me premium products to create differentiation and sustainability. It shows that since 2017, although the company state their consumer can make online purchasing soon, but there isn't any sign of the online store. Bunnings should also take a quicker pace in stepping into the digital landscape to make the on-demand shopping fulfillment of the changing consumer group to boost their brand's exposure and profit. Either flash sale model nor the time limit discount model can help Bunnings to have more competitive advantages. Lastly, future trend of customization of products, shareable experience are parts that Bunnings can take into their consideration of designing their business strategies.